then I'll run this race and live a life is destined for me. Ready to rock my change. I'm getting ready, it's a brand new day. I'm getting ready, gonna live by faith. I'm ready, I'm ready. I'm getting ready to rock this change. I'm getting ready, it's a brand new day. I'm getting ready, gonna live by faith. I'm ready, I'm ready. Achieve, believe, and conquer. All things are possible. Achieve, believe, and conquer. I hear him talking to me.
No fear, so clear. My God, your head created on purpose. The purpose, the goal is how my body, my look out and focus. When I read the word, Lord, my hope is going up and up. Yeah, show is. What a time to spend, when I read what you meant, I can see how you send. Put your kids to the field, showing how God's real salvation's the deal. Get your whole life sealed. I'm flying for us all, and it's time for the call. The Lord's on my side, all my enemies fall. Got the victory now, cause y'all God's kids. The Holy Ghost running it all of what it is. Empowered by awesomeness, the cost is free. And giving us gifts, we gon' see.
I'm getting ready to rock my change. I'm getting ready, it's a brand new day. I'm getting ready, gonna live by faith. I'm ready, I'm ready. Oh, I'm gonna rock this change. I'm getting ready, it's a brand new day. It's a brand new day. I'm getting ready, gonna live by faith. I'm ready, I'm ready. Achieve, believe, and conquer. With you I can achieve, believe, and conquer. Oh, achieve, believe, and conquer. I'm living free. He's talking to me. Say he's talking to me. Today is looking much brighter and much clearer. A change is coming. I'm letting go of insecurity. I have vision for his purpose for me. I'm getting ready to rock my change. I'm getting ready, it's a brand new day. I'm getting ready, gonna live by faith. I'm ready to achieve, believe, and conquer. Achieve, believe, and conquer. It's coming out where I'm designed to be. From disappointment comes opportunity to walk by faith. Then I'll run this race and live a life is destined for me. Ready to rock my change and conquer me. Say he's talking to me. Ooh, la la la. Oh, oh.
Hello, welcome. It is another night of a single serving, and I am so glad that you were able to join us tonight. It's going to be a great night. Not that I'm being biased or anything, but I guess when it comes to family, I'm a little bit biased, sorry. So we are excited here. As you can see, Rev couldn't make it here tonight. He's not able to join us tonight, but look out, he'll be back again with me next month. So yeah, hey Rev, sorry you couldn't be here, but he'll be here again next month, God willing. But yes, tonight we're here for another episode or another broadcast of A Single Serving, and I am excited to be here because you know why? Because there's another Beazer in the house. I'm sorry. There's another Beazer in the house. And tonight I have all the way from Yasso, Gosso, and Tanso, is my cousin, Tricia Beazer in the house. Tricia Beazer is in the house. Yes, I'm excited. Yes, we are first cousins. Yes, we are. We're not like a second, third cousin removed on your father brother side. Yes, Tricia and I are first cousins. I know, don't we? Everywhere we go, right? Everywhere we go. Yeah, sister. Ooh. You talk about my cousin Tricia? Everywhere we go, y'all sister? I said, no, but we are first cousins. Her dad and my dad are brothers. So that's why we look so. I look like her father. I look like one of her siblings, which is an interesting thing. But yeah, we're here tonight to talk to Tricia. And Tricia, we're here talking about a single mom. Single moms tonight. So tonight we're honoring single mommies. It's just an honor. I've known Tricia all my life. I've known Tricia all my life. Okay. So it was an honor. I asked her, and yeah, she said yes. After a little bit of persuasion, I begged. Did I beg?
You didn't beg.
Okay, I didn't beg. It was heavy persuasion. How about that? So she's here, and we're just excited. And there's other single moms that are, would benefit. Tricia has a story to tell. And so every mom's journey is different. So tonight we're journeying with Tricia and just see, what life is like as a single mom in her shoes. So we thank you again. We are on tonight from starting at 7:30. So we're glad that you're here taking this time on a Friday night to join us. And so right now we're just going to open in a word of prayer. And Tricia, do you have anything? I know this is the first time first time you're being interviewed by me. Yeah. So she's live and direct. So this is no hold bars. We're going to chat tonight. So we're going to pray. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for this wonderful evening. I thank you for Tricia for joining us tonight. And God, I just pray for every single mom that's out there that God, she will be blessed, whether she be a grandmother, an auntie, a stepmom, whatever tonight in Jesus' name. I pray the blessing on every single mom that is watching tonight. And I just thank even single moms who've lost spouses, maybe they've lost their husbands, God, that are widows and raising their children. So Father God, I pray a special blessing on them tonight. And Lord, I just give you thanks and praise for all that you're about to do tonight in Jesus' name. Amen. So I said I'm going to read a little bio about my cousin. And it's an interesting bio because this is so her. This is so Tricia. This is so her. And her bio says she's a football mom, dance mom, and she's a mother of two. My beautiful cousins, yes, my two, I love them dearly. They're so cute. So juggling parenting, working full-time, and participating in every aspect of her children's lives. And Tricia is in it. Has definitely been challenging and rewarding. With the many support systems that God has placed in her life along this journey of parenting has given her time to reflect and be thankful. At the time, she didn't know it. But looking back years later, she realized she could not have done this all on her own. As her children have grown into young adults, parenting does not stop. Parenting is just done differently. Wow. Yes, it is. I'm not a parent, so I'm just drawing on Tricia's experience. I'm just going with the flow. So, to start us off, Tricia, tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, you know my cousin, and you got 2 kids, but tell the audience a little bit of something about yourself.
Okay. I am a mother of 2, but she just read my bio.
I know, but I just breeze through it.
All right, so mother of 2, and I'm a registered nurse. And
Can you tell the family here? Sorry.
And it's just been one journey after another, just raising the kids and trying to balance parenting and work life.
And 2 beautiful kids. Your son is how old now?
Todd, he is 23.
3, and your daughter?
17.
17. Lovely children. Lovely! we're going down this road, and we're talking about single, it's a bit about single parenting, it's a bit about single motherhood. So let your audience know, when did your single journey of motherhood begin? Like, where did it all start?
Well, I got pregnant while I was still in school.
Yeah.
So I was in my second year of nursing school. And at that point in time, it was trying to decide what my life would look like moving forward with having a baby and still being in school.
Yeah.
And how was I going to finish? And so I had my son just the beginning of third year.
Okay.
So school started in September, and 4 weeks later.
Okay. Time came along. Oh, there you go. So when you first found out, there's a lot of that emotional aspect of it. Like, was it sort of like, this is not your son came along at a time you're like, I'm not ready for this.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was because I was in school.
Yeah.
I was working part-time, and I was also, I had a leadership role within the class.
Yeah.
And it was having to decide what road am I going to go down, and how am I going to provide for him.
Yeah.
And just make it so that we do not become a statistic.
Okay. All right. Okay. And how was it? Like, okay, school started, bam, 4 weeks later, along comes Ty. Like, how did Ty fit in? Like, was it like, okay, you know what, I'm leaving school, I've got to deal with my baby here? Or was it like, you know what, baby's coming along for the ride?
Baby's coming along for the ride.
Okay.
Okay. I was determined to graduate with my class.
Yeah.
And I have to say, like, the nursing class was my class, my professors, they were really, really supportive.
Yeah. Okay.
And I
was it like take your baby to class with you? Or
he came to class because there was no daycare. I didn't have daycare.
Okay.
At that point in time.
Yeah.
Daycare started in January.
Yeah. Ooh, okay.
So I had classmates that would help me with taking notes, and
oh, good. Yeah.
And Ty was really good.
Yeah.
Looking back on, thank God.
Yeah.
Because the setup at home as he got older was just popping him up with pillows.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't quite at the stage where he could sit on his own.
Yeah.
And having toys around him, and me reading out loud my books, but in an animated voice.
Oh wow!
Periodically looking over at him.
Yeah.
And then going back to reading or writing. So yeah.
Okay, so and you had him in the dorm with you?
No, so at that point in time, I had my own apartment.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
It was just him and I. I had a roommate at the time, so she was also very helpful.
Okay.
And after she ended up leaving, and the last 2 years, it was just Ty and myself.
Okay. And Ty, I guess Ty adapted to all these faces and seeing people, like he wasn't, like one of those babies, like,
No.
Stranger danger and all
that. He did adapt. And it's funny because I work with a couple of my classmates.
Oh.
And so when Ty would visit, I'd be like, oh, you gotta see so-and-so.
Yeah.
And you know, they see them and they'll say, "We knew you when you were in here," you know.
Yeah. Okay. And at this point, you're talking about sort of that support at the early stages. Was Ty's father involved at that time, or was it sort of he was here, you were there, or was sort of like you're just doing this? This is my thing. I am doing this right now on my own.
He wasn't involved at the time.
Okay.
And yeah, I was doing it on my own.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. Sometimes was there any point where you're like, God, what did I get myself into?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. But
Yeah.
you know what? God is good. Like, you have to pray. And I think that is something that I did.
Okay.
Earlier on,
Yeah.
I think I was not as consistent with praying.
Okay.
But as the years gone on,
Okay.
I became more consistent with praying and just seeking out support.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I think I know. I remember when Ty was born. I remember when Ty was born, and it's like it seemed like I can't believe it's 23 years. I'm like, wow, this is a little day. Ty was this little chubby bunny. Oh, he was so cute. I wish I had a picture. He was so cute. So you're talking about like you're now there at your second year, your third year. You've got Ty, and then you're done. You're finished. You got through school. You're graduating. Like, what was it at that moment? Was it that your aha moment? Like, God, we did this. Like you graduated.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Graduated. I was pleased with myself. I was
Yeah.
like, I did it.
Yeah.
But the next step was, okay, where do we go from here?
Okay.
Because, you know, yeah, I graduated from nursing school.
Yeah.
But do we move back to the city?
Yeah.
Do I stay where I'm at? Do I go to a different city? Because again, you know, his father still wasn't consistent.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I'm talking with family and talking with his father.
Yeah.
It was decided that, you know what, come back to the city.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we'll see
What happens?
what happens.
Okay. So you pick up Ty, you're coming back into the city. Was it sort of like, I'm still here? It sounds like his family was sort of helping you as well. That's what it sounds like. Like, I think you said you spoke to his father?
No,
Okay.
meaning Ty's father.
Ty's father.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was coming back into the city.
Yeah.
And so you're back in the city, there's probably a little bit, was there more consistency with the father, or was still like, I'm still doing this on my own?
I was still doing it on my own.
Okay.
And I think by the time I realized that it was, okay, I'm doing this on my own.
Yeah.
Ty had already adjusted to my brothers.
Okay.
And
Alright.
so I made the decision to stay in the city because I felt that, okay, if he wasn't going to have that regular, consistent father figure,
Yeah.
then at least he would have my brothers,
Okay.
that male figure.
Yeah. And they were supportive as well, like your two brothers, and
Yeah.
so they were just like, yeah, we're taking them on.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is good. Which is good. And how about, you know, at that time, like, I know your mom was overseas at that time, and you were getting some support. Were you getting support from your mom from overseas? She was sort of coming when she could, or?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
when my mom came, she would help me out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I do remember the time where, and I guess we'll talk about this a little bit, when I had the two kids.
Yeah.
And she came at that time. It was around where Gianna was supposed to start solid foods.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, I remember that.
And I remember the moment, you know, my mom was like, okay, go. I was like, go over.
Yeah.
Because I was so used to
Just to, yeah.
me doing everything, and her saying, no, just go.
Yeah.
You know, and I went out, and it's like the kid in the candy store. I was so
She's on the run.
I was like,
She's on the run.
wow, you know. But yeah, my mom came when she would visit.
Yeah.
She helped me out a great lot.
So you had quite a good support system helping you with Ty, and then years later,
7 years later.
7 years later comes your daughter.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, okay, you got one, you got through with this, and then along comes your daughter. What was your mind frame at that time? You're thinking it was just happy the two of you.
The Ty wanted a sibling.
Yeah.
And I was like, no.
Yeah. Were you with your Ty's dad at the time?
Yes.
Okay.
So that
It was more consistent. There was a solid relationship at that time. Okay.
Yes. And
Okay.
then I got pregnant again.
Yeah.
And I can't remember how many months into the pregnancy where he fell out again.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I'm doing this again.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's sort of like you're hoping that this relationship would be more like it wasn't how it was before. You wanted something a little bit more consistent,
Yeah.
especially for the kids.
Yeah.
And so in the second time around, now you're pregnant with your daughter, and so you're like months into the pregnancy, you're on your own. Take us down that emotional road. Like, how was it? Like, oh my goodness, is it like sort of like what was the feeling like? Was it like, okay, I knew this was kind of gonna happen, or was like were you sort of caught off guard that this happened? Or
I was caught off guard.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Because you don't go into it thinking that
Yeah.
it's gonna happen again.
yeah,
And we, in my mind, we tried to make it work.
Yeah.
And when it didn't, I was like, okay, here we go again.
okay.
And it was like, Lord, give me strength.
How did your siblings take it
With
with I guess the separation again with you and the children's father?
I think that's something you would have to ask them.
Yeah,
I could imagine them thinking
Yeah.
that, okay, here we go again.
Yeah.
Just the roller coaster
Yeah.
of our relationship.
okay, okay. So here you are. You got 2 kids. You're on this road again. How did you process this? Like, how did you decide? Okay, now I'm doing this. How do I do this? Was there like I thought like, okay, you know what? I'm taking a break. I want to be home with my kids, or like I've got to still keep going.
I have to keep going.
Yeah. Were you working full time at the time, or
I was working full time.
okay in your profession, or
Yeah.
Okay.
As a nurse,
Yeah.
And there were times where, to make ends meet, I'm working more than one job.
yeah, okay, Yeah.
And again, my sister had been a big part in looking after the kids while
Yeah.
I would be working nights.
mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
I had to do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, who else is going to do
Yeah.
it? Who's going to take care of my kids?
Yeah. So that's it. That's sort of the mind frame that you get into. It's like, you know what? I've got to look after my kids. My kids are my priority.
Yeah.
And they're my number ones right now.
Yeah.
So that was where your mind frame was at that time. And I like what you said in that you had a lot of support systems to help you. And I mean, I think you said also that you relied on God to really, I mean, it wasn't as strong at that point, but you realize, as you said, you look back now and you're like, you know what? I think it is God that got me through. So I hear about, you're talking about the struggles that you had. Like, you found yourself, pregnant, dad's not there, pregnant again, the dad's not there. But even in the midst of your time of raising your kids, what would you say is your biggest, or what was one of your biggest struggles that you encountered as a single mom?
One of the biggest struggles?
Yeah. I know you got a few, but what would sort of be your number one?
The number one struggle I think is not having that co-parenting relationship, or having the on again, off again, broken promises, and seeing what it does to the kids.
Okay.
That for me was and is
Okay.
still hard.
Yeah. So you're kind of like, it's all on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you find like you're talking about the issue about co-parenting? I mean, at those times where you were not together, and I mean, was there any time when you like the kids went to him, or was it a shared co-parenting thing, or was it like it was just always you?
It was just always me.
Okay, so did the kids ever spend time like with him or?
No.
Okay.
Years later.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what year it was, but there was the opportunity to do travel nursing. That's something that I've always wanted to do.
Okay.
And I had mentioned that I wanted to do travel nursing, and an opportunity potentially was there.
Okay.
And that's when he started to come around and be more involved in their lives.
Okay.
And,
Yeah. So that was, as just just to recap, it's the fact that the biggest struggle for you was the fact that the co-parenting, you really didn't have anybody to lean on.
No.
And with the kids and the sort of the inconsistencies that their father had with them. And so even as they grow older, I mean, your daughter's 17 and your son is 23. I guess in those middle years, I guess when they're like, your son's probably like a teenager and your daughter's sort of the elementary school age. Was he parenting at that time? Was there any parenting happening at that time with them? And was there any struggles with like you parent one way, he parents another way? Was that the sort of like the tug of war parenting thing?
Well, okay. So there was the point in time where we did live together.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, yes, there was a little more involvement.
Okay.
And yes, we do have different parenting styles.
Okay.
When the relationship did fall apart and the children visited with him, there was this struggle of communication and making sure the kids are like schedules.
Okay.
Schedules.
Yeah. Okay. So it's sort of like, okay, listen, what time is it?
Yeah.
Don't be bringing back my children like these kind of thing. Okay, and like, what would you say? I know you're talking from your own experiences. What would you tell the mom, like the single mom right now, who's dealing with, she's got, I hate to say this word, baby daddy. I hate to say baby daddy, but what would you tell a mom who's struggling? She's a single mom. She's no longer with the children's father. Like, what word would you give to them to encourage them to say, you know what? Or what would you say? Like, the mom's like, well, every time my child goes to its dad and it's just, I don't know how to deal with this. What advice could you offer them? Sort of like, in your own words, out of your own experience.
You have to, for me, what I did was, take it to the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, God, please just give me the strength
Mm-hmm.
to deal with this. And not showing the anger in front of the children.
Mm-hmm.
Children do pick up on everything, even though we think that they don't.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
So I tried my best not to talk bad about him.
Okay.
Because he is their father.
Yes.
And just because him and I did not work out, we have children together.
Yeah.
And we have to learn to work together. As hard as it is. And there might be times where you would have to put boundaries so that you can communicate with each other for your own mental health. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay, and that's some really good advice. And I as a single mom, I've heard the same thing from a single dad. It's like you got to make it work. You do have to make it work. And I like the point that you said is your actions speak louder than your words. And so whatever you say about, regardless, they're your children. Like that's still their father. And so if you got to make it work, and you have to remember to be, as much as you may not like the baby daddy, or the children's father, you have to be respectful in front of your children, and that seems to be one of the keynotes that you're saying. Regardless, it's just being respectful for your kids. And we talked about your biggest struggle, but then I'm going to ask you about your biggest joy. But before Tricia answers, we're here tonight on A Single Serving, and we welcome you. My name is Amanda Beazer. I'm the ministry lead of singles ministry here at Covenant Remnant Ministries, and I thank you for taking your Friday night out to join us here online. I've got my cousin Tricia. I keep saying this to my guests. It's my cousin Tricia. She's here with me tonight, and we're talking about her journey as a single mom. If you are a single mom online and you're watching, please feel free if there's any questions that you may have for Tricia, or anytime during this broadcast, please post them. We would like to have an opportunity during the broadcast to read it. So stay tuned. We just got so much going on. I'm enjoying my time here with my cousin. I'm enjoying my time here because we're just, we get to see each other, but not as much as we like to. Our lives are so busy. We're here tonight talking with Tricia Beazer, registered nurse, mom of two beautiful kids, a 23-year-old. Does she look like does this girl look like she has a 23-year-old child? Come on! So she has a 23-year-old son and a 17-year-old daughter, and she's here talking tonight about her experience or continued experience as a single mama. And so we talked earlier about your biggest struggle. So, come struggles, come accomplishments and joy. So, tell your audience, what is your biggest or your greatest accomplishment as a single mom?
you know what? I don't have one.
Yes.
Okay. Because for me, it's seeing them meet their milestones.
Okay.
Is an accomplishment.
Yes.
And this is something what I say to the kids all the time, because I get emotional.
Mm-hmm.
So when Ty's going through a developmental stage, I'll say, okay, you guys just be patient with me.
Yeah.
Because I know this is what you have to go through. Like this is a stage of life. But it's also me seeing you grow.
Yeah.
And you're growing up to be a young man, and there are conversations like that. I think with COVID, COVID had derailed a lot of things.
Yes, that's right.
And one of my goals for Ty was to see him graduate with cap and gown and walk across that stage.
Yes.
And he couldn't do that due to COVID.
Yeah.
But they did a virtual ceremony, and I still cried.
Yeah.
And just the other day, he phoned and he told me what the university is planning to do. And so, thank God I would be able to see
him
walk across the stage, cap and gown, and get his degree. And that's always been my goal.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So Ty's going to graduate from university. Wow. Wow. So you're talking about...
So he's already graduated. They're just doing the ceremony.
Finally. You're like, listen, I want to see, I invested this money in this child.
We've been through a lot.
Yes.
We've been through a lot.
So, as you mentioned, seeing your kids reach their milestone is a big thing for you. And I remember just in the midst of our conversation, you know, you talk about those early years where, you know, you had to, you know, take your time, study, and then work. And then you had your daughter, and then you had to, you know, work and take care of 2 kids mainly on your own. And in the midst of all of that, there's you. How do you take care of you? Because I know you like to do things. I know my cousin is taking care. I mean, in the earlier years, it was tough.
Yeah, in the early years, it was tough. I think the one thing that I did was get my hair done.
Yeah.
So that was something that I did weekly.
Yeah.
And people didn't understand that. But it was because I'm doing so much here, there,
Yeah.
work-wise. But to sit in that salon chair and to have someone massage my
Yeah.
scalp,
Yeah.
that for me was my thing,
Okay.
right? And then as the children got older, what I recently started doing was, which I've said to you, is like start walking and jump roping. Those are some key things that I've started doing on my own.
Yeah.
And and just I do me. I take care of myself.
Yeah.
So,
Which is good.
yeah.
Which is good. And it's important. I mean, I guess it's all based on your finances and what you can do, but not everything requires money.
No.
Not everything requires money.
Yeah, no.
And so I think what you're stressing here is in light of everything that's going on as a single mom, you know, you've got your kids, you've got, you know, if you're working or even if you have a stay-at-home mom, that taking care of your body, taking care of not just your physical appearance, but your emotional well-being, your psychological well-being. I mean, I'm not a mother, and so I see, you know, I watch what you've been through, like single moms that I know that are part of my life. And so I guess, you know, even being single, you got to take care of yourself, you know, regardless of the circumstances. I mean, you do things, little things. And I like what you had said earlier in regards to the support system. And so, I mean, I guess in the earlier years was a little bit tougher, like sort of like to carve out that time. It's like, is that kid asleep? Kind of sort of, how did you make it when they were in the younger years? Like, you know, talk to the mom who's got like kids under the age of 5. I like you got some young ones at home. How do you make that time? Like, what would you advise? Like, what can I do? Yeah, Tricia, well, your kids are grown. Like, what can I do now with my young kids in order to make time for myself?
Yeah. When the kids were younger, it was a matter of taking them to the park and them playing in the park and me just sitting there. Or we had a pool, so having them go to the pool and me just sitting there. And I think my neighbors, they knew the situation, so whenever they would see the kids, you know, they would play with the kids.
Oh, okay.
So I
All right.
would
Take that breather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's just, we would do little things. We would go to the park, or I would make crafts at home and just do little things.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a way to do stuff.
There is. It's just carving out that time.
Yeah.
I think as they get older, for those that don't have the support system, it is hard.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, who do you leave your children with?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But what I found was having friends.
Yeah.
Having neighbors.
Yeah.
They were the ones that helped me.
Yeah.
And it's not that I spent a lot of money or I was away from my kids, that I could just, you know, they could be over there, but I'm sitting here. And for me, that was my...
Just a little distance.
That was my moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if that's.
And I mean, I think you it's just the key words you said. What works for you.
Yeah.
It's what's working for you. If it requires you, and I always said it. I said it to my co-host. Like sometimes you just lock yourself in the closet.
No, because they'll
still open the door, but it's sort of like take them 5 minutes to take a deep breath because you just don't want, you just need that breather for a minute, just to recap, like for your mental well-being. If you're 100 kids all day, it's kind of hard for you to just.
It's hard because I mean, like my two kids their personalities were so different, right? Because I was able to pop Ty up or in a corner and surround him with toys and still study.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do that with my daughter.
Yeah.
She cried, and so it was like, okay, how am I going to make this work? Like I need to cook, but I can't leave you in the stroller like I used to leave Ty.
Yeah.
And I remember days where to take a shower, Ty would be in his car seat or he'll be in the stroller at the bathroom door.
Yeah.
And I'm taking my shower and periodically, I'm singing and I'll be like, peekaboo, but that's how it worked for me. With him, with my daughter, I couldn't do that. Yeah. So their personalities are very different.
Yep.
Even now, like she's a teenager, and I sit back and I reflect as to when Ty was a teenager, what did he do, and versus what she's doing, and I'm just like, okay.
So I guess at one point as a single mommy, you talking about the personalities of your children, and how did that? I guess with the parenting, like you're a single mom, you're it. And so how did you manage, everybody comes with different personalities, right? So you're not going to have two kids exactly the same. How did you manage parenting as a single mom, two kids with two different personalities? Because it's sort of, here they are, they're growing up, you're noticing what their personalities are. You've got to stretch your time for this one, stretch your time for this one. How did you manage that? Like, how did you said Ty wasn't a crier. Your daughter was a crier. Who knows what they were like in elementary school. Like, how did you manage the two personalities? How did you parent them?
Well, one thing that worked for me, or what I found, was years ago, I would facilitate a teen parenting group.
Mm-hmm.
So working with my teen moms, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
And so I would be able to connect with Ty on a level because he was a teenager and just observing and hearing what teenagers talk about and everything like that. So one thing I say to my kids is, tell me anything.
Yeah.
If it's bad, okay, we'll deal with it.
Yeah.
But at least I know what I'm dealing with.
Okay.
With my daughter, I found, or I'm finding, is just the emotional ups and downs. And I don't know if, maybe it's the fact that she's a girl.
Yeah.
And girls go through, they have more emotionals up and down. But it's more being present with her and just checking in. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Is everything okay?
Yeah.
And what I find is whenever they want to talk, that's where you gotta just drop everything.
Yeah.
For me, I would just drop everything and focus. You've got my attention.
Yeah. So I guess from what you're saying, it sounds like it's sort of that building of that open communication, being available for them.
Yes.
Because even though they have two different kind of personalities, you make sure that you maintain that open communication. You made sure that you checked in with them. You made sure that when they needed you, you were there.
Right.
And I mean, not every situation in life is the same where, and depending on what your work life is like,
right,
what your current situation is with the the father of your children. So there's many factors to come in, but I think basically what it sounds like you're saying is just, keep that communication open because you want to know you can't be there 24 hours a day.
Right.
So you just want to know, okay, what's going on?
Exactly.
What's going on
Exactly.
with you? Like, I'm not there, but what's up?
And then also too, it's like one is like I could be dealing with a situation with one of them,
Mm-hmm.
but I do have to be cautious of, okay, are you okay with the other one?
Yeah.
And then vice versa.
Yeah.
My son is a little bit older.
Yeah.
But you know what? He still calls.
Yeah. You don't stop being a parent.
You don't.
Yeah.
And that's what I realized. A joke.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had colleagues and with older children, and at work we'll talk, and I see what they're going through, and that also helped with how I would parent my children. And in my head, I'm thinking that once my son reaches 18, I'm okay. But I remember her laughing at me. She's like, "No, honey, they're still gonna call you.
Yeah.
And you're still gonna parent."
Yeah.
And I realized that when he's away at school, you still gotta check in.
Yeah.
I checked in, and we had that communication.
Yeah.
Just keeping the communication open.
Yeah, it's okay. I look back at the life of my mom. My mom lost my dad when she was in her 30s, early 30s. And so she was single mothering in her 30s with us. And it's sort of like, you don't stop parenting. I'm in my early 50s, and my mom still calls. Hello. My mom calls me and checks up on me. And when she's ready, she still advises me. And so it's like, you don't stop.
You don't stop.
You don't stop. It's like it's going and going, and it's just amazing to see, Tricia, that I hear about some of your escapades with the kids. You'll tell us about all the things that are going on with kids, and it's sort of like over the years, it's sort of like you've been able to maintain it. It's sort of like you're like with all of this stuff happening on the periphery, you've sort of been able, thanks to God, and I think you've been able to maintain that for your children. And I mean, when you talked about, Ty's personality and your daughter's personality, like they've watched you go through what you have gone through as a single mom. And how have you seen the effects of that on them? Like, is it also like, well, I've noticed the fact that being a single mom, my son is this way, or my daughter is this way. Like, how do you see that, and how does that affect you?
I see it.
Or if there is any, yeah.
No, there is. Because they've made comments with regards to just being in long-term relationships, and that's something that we talk about.
Okay.
With Ty, the conversation that I have with Ty is different with the conversation that I have with Gianna.
Mm-hmm.
Right? With Ty, it's talking about, okay, because he's in a relationship, so looking forward is like keeping those lines of communication open, and just being very transparent. The conversation that I have with my daughter is, okay, what does healthy relationships look like?
Okay.
And hopefully she will, when she goes into a relationship, it'll be a healthy relationship.
Okay. So you're just stressing the importance. I could just hear in your words that you're just stressing the importance of that communication piece with your kids.
Yeah.
And just, when you hear these things, and when the kids do make comments or things about the stuff that you have gone through over the years with their father, and through the things that you've been through, it's sort of, you're saying, just, I see it, and you're acknowledging that they've been through it with you as well. And so you're sort of supporting them emotionally.
As best as I can.
As best as you can.
As best as you
can.
Yeah.
And it is, I guess it's hard because as you mentioned earlier in the conversation, it's just always been you. And so it's that the other person, I mean, you have your brothers and your sisters, but it's not as the same as you having a spouse or somebody in your life who's supporting you along with your kids. And so, you know, you just stress that importance, you know, make the time, as hard as it is, make the time for your kids. And, you know, and I guess that always, even now that your kids are older, do you still find that you have to manage, like time management seems to be the number one consistent thing that I hear in this conversation. How did you do it? Just like honestly, how'd you do it? How did you be like now? I mean, when you had Ty, and so you were able to focus your time on Ty. And you know what it is? Well, you're always with so and so, and and you know you don't want the guilt mom thing. Like, okay, fine. You had to spread yourself with your two children. Plus, you had work. Plus, you had all these other things that are going on in your life. How important is time management, especially as a single mom?
It's very important.
Yeah.
For me, it was it's getting things prepared like the night before, so that in the morning time we're not running around.
Yeah.
It's even now, it's still getting the stuff ready.
Yeah.
Or reminding my daughters, like, okay, let's get things ready so that tomorrow when we have to go to school, we're not running around.
Yeah.
And you're not late. But and I think because of the 7-year gap, Ty was a little bit older, and so he was with friends. Whereas, and then I was able to spend more time with Jana.
Yeah.
Ty, yeah.
Ty's a little bit more easygoing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love my daughter.
Yeah.
I love them both.
They're just two different personalities.
Different personalities.
Yeah.
Different personalities.
Yeah.
You know what? And there's days when I sort of have to take a step back and I have to sort of ask, is it because she had more interaction with two parents?
Okay.
As opposed to Ty mainly had me.
Okay.
So I have to sort of.
So it's just constant evaluation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Constant evaluation, like, okay, what's going on here? Sort of like being the detective.
Yeah. Like our assessment skills.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, what's going on here today?
But she's very keen on picking up when mommy's assessing a situation.
Yeah. She's like, oh my God, I'm putting it down.
Yeah. And then it's like.
Yeah. Speak to those moms now who's just having just a tough time. I mean, you talked about the emotional roller coaster, and that speak to the mom who's like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this kid. You may have one, you may have five, but there's always one. There might be one or two of them. Like how do they manage?
It was
that emotional roller coaster without you getting on that roller coaster as well. And I mean, there are some moms out there who are like at their wits' end. I think I mentioned that earlier. They're just at their wits' end and dealing with some children with behavioral issues, anger issues. It's not easy being a single mom. So like, speak to moms who are like, what do I do?
It's hard. And there's been times where I myself have dealt with situations with my children. And for me, it was at a young age, it was one finding the support. Who is going to be that consistent role model, mentor for my kids. Just also to praying, because I found that was something that still does help me, is praying for them, praying for their well-being, praying that they will, the company that they keep, and overall just, Lord, give me strength.
Yeah.
That is something, before I get out of bed, I'm like, Lord, please, give me strength. Let me make it through this day.
Yeah. And I like that. And that was even the next question. I said, you're making God, like your relationship with Jesus Christ is an important part of your single motherhood journey. I know you had mentioned earlier on, like it wasn't that way in the beginning, but you're noticing as your kids are growing, like they're young adults, but they're still growing. Everybody's still, we're all growing, some this way, some this way. I don't know. But you made that you made that an important aspect of your children's life, and it's good to see, and I like that you're stressing that that there might have been some situations like only God can take care of this.
And you know what? Growing up, Mommy used to take us to church.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
And I know for me, junior high, going to junior high and meeting my friends, to this day, I still connect with them.
Yeah.
And so I stressed that with the kids. I was like, you guys need to go to junior high.
Yeah.
Because you guys are going to meet friends for life.
Yeah.
And I felt that with them doing that and just going to church, we found a church that was very close by. So it was, you could fight me all you want, but we're going to church.
Yeah.
You could doodle, you could write, you could scribble, as long as you're in church.
Yeah.
And I remember there was the one time, I can't remember what the service was about, that the kids, when we were driving home, they started talking and they gave their opinion. But what I saw was them playing, writing, tic-tac-toe, and I was like, you guys are listening?
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, they were listening. And so that was confirmation for me to like, okay, I gotta keep doing this. God, please just keep watch over them.
Yes.
And help me in this journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're here, we talk about this, stressing the importance of having that relationship with Jesus Christ. I mean, you can't force a kid. I mean, may have a single mom to young adult kids, or you're a single mom to, adult kids, or, whoever's living in your home. And I think what you said, Tricia, was that prayer life. And here at a single serving, we are stressors of that, in that we talk about the importance of that relationship. There are some situations in life, be it you're a single mom, single dad, single person, widowed, whatever. There are some situations that you're going to go through in life that you're like, you know what? This is one of the moments my children's father can't help me. My mom can't help me. My dad can't help me. Maybe you don't have those support systems around, in that, you know what? I have to rely on God. And it's God's like, so don't come to me when you just want to. God's going to always be there. And so it's just the importance of starting to pray for your kids. Maybe you're a single mom today and you don't have a relationship with Jesus Christ. There's, moments where you're like, you know what, start talking. Start talking. I think you did that, Tricia. You're like, you go on your walks, you talk.
Yeah.
Just like I go on my walks and I talk to God. And I think that's the important thing, is to just start opening those lines of communication with God, because there are those moments where only God can get you through these. Only God can get you through these situations.
And also knowing that when we pray, we have to believe that it will happen.
That's
and you
it.
have to wait for it to happen.
Yeah.
For the outcome.
Yeah.
I may pray for something and be like, okay, why isn't it happening?
Yeah.
And that's when I'll be like, the voice in my head is like, okay, no, you gotta wait.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
And it does come.
It comes.
May not come when I want it to come, but it comes.
Yeah. So in your whole journey, it seems like you've managed well. You sort of You still got those things coming at you. Your kids may be older, but you're sort of like, yeah, it was hard in the beginning, but you're sort of now, you're not saying wrapping up. You're sort of like, you know what, God's got me on this. God is helping me through this, even though you have these struggles with your daughter, or even your son still calls you, Mommy, I still need you. And so I think your message is like, you don't stop parenting. You're a single mom, you don't stop. You'll be a mother till you die.
And that's because that was when you wanted me on, right? I was like, my kids are old.
Yeah.
Like what? I thought about it, and it was like, I'm just parenting differently.
Yeah.
As they grow, you adjust to the times and their behavior and their ages, and it's just I'm at a different stage. Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, for those that have the young children, it does get better and it does get easier. It's hard. Yeah.
So it's just shifting your focus.
It is. It's shifting your focus, and then also, I think for me, as the kids are getting older, and then as I see things differently. So for me, it is. Yeah.
So as we're wrapping up today, I'm not sure if there was any comments or questions in regards to that.
There was a whole slew.
Okay.
I'll highlight.
Okay. I know we just kept talking, and we just as questions are coming in, and Tricia got a lot to talk about. Sorry, go ahead, Diane.
Hi. Really and truly, Tricia, people were just commenting on the fact that they appreciated just the fact that you had put your children as a top priority, as well as I just wanted to say one here. I'll just go backwards. Jackie said, despite the challenges, proud of you, Tricia. You've done an awesome job raising your children. Mm-hmm. And Paula also said the same thing and concurring.
Yeah. Thank you, Paula, and for making those comments. Yeah, Tricia's done well. Yeah. Tricia's done well.
And Paula also mentioned too that just having the extended family as grandparents being raised.
Yeah, extended family makes a difference.
And she mentioned also two children are such a blessing.
You made my cousin cry, Paula.
That's okay. It's good because we have some great comments here. They were saying that also too, just again the extended family members and all. But I think overall, just a lot of commenting and really truly just saying, you're doing a great job. Yeah. The ideas of just seeking God through the journey and making sure to pray for the children in all areas.
Remember to pray for your kids. Pray for your kids.
So as much as people were, there was a lot of active listening.
Oh,
that way.
Praise God. Yeah. And you know what? I'm okay. Yeah, I am older than Tricia. I can admit that. I've grown up with Tricia. And so to see where you are at in life, it's an amazing, to see that you've had these two kids. I know the struggles, I know the things that you have gone through, and it is a proud moment in our lives, or as a life of our family, is to see when there may be difficult beginnings, and that's what I want to encourage every single mother to say that, beginnings may be rough. It may be tough. But I'm telling you that when God is for you, nothing can come against you and your children. And that, there's not too much that you cannot bear. And that God is with you. You are not alone in your journey. And I think Tricia said that. You are not alone in your single mom journey. We are here. I had Tricia here in May because May we celebrate Mother's Day, and so I wanted a mom to come on. And I'm as your cousin, as your older cousin, I am proud. I am so proud of you, Tricia, in what you have done with your life. Both of your kids are doing well. I mean, as we age, we still have our troubles and we still have our struggles. But you know what, Tricia, we're proud. We are proud. My brother, my sister, all of our family members, we're proud. And we love Ty. We love Ty's a joke. Tricia's daughter's a joke. Jokers, they're jokers. and we just love you. We love you. We support you, and that's the same thing for the single moms who are watching tonight. We love you. Here at Covenant Remnant Ministries, here at A Single Serving, you're a single mom. You are never alone. You are never alone. Or, if you ever feel like you have questions that you want to just, like, how do I deal with this? Pastor Jackie and Pastor Dean are here. I am here at A Single Serving. You are more than welcome to email info@covremmin.com. info@covremmin.com. Just to, say, I need prayer. I need prayer to help me through my kids. And we're here to pray for you. We don't talk about these things unless we're praying for you. These are things that have come up. And, there are many. Single is a very broad category. But we have single moms, single dads. We have widows. We have divorced. We have separated. We have never married. And so here at A Single Serving, we're honoring single moms tonight. And we honor Tricia tonight for being here. And if there's just one final thing, Tricia, that you want to, what message out of all that we've talked about tonight, what is a message that you would like to relay to all the single moms watching tonight?
There may be times where it's hard, but it does get better. It gets easier, and surrounding yourself with the support network to pull you through and to help you out, because you may feel like you're alone, but you're not alone. And I think it's just taking that step or finding that outlet, that network to help you in parenting.
Yeah. There's resources available. I mean, I like when you said that you went to a group with teenage moms, and that's where you're pulling some information from what you learned. So we're constantly learning. So there's resources available there to help you. But you know what? Well, note your biggest resources, the Bible. So we encourage you to read your Bible and ask God to help you in this. You're not alone. We're here. You're not alone. So as Tricia said, you're not alone, and it's going to get better. So we thank you. Our time is done. Wow. We're done. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Yes.
For all those nice comments. And I think when being a single mom, you feel alone, but when you hear the comments that you've done a good job, that really
and encourage.
It's encouraging and it touches, and it just reinforces that I've done well.
Sorry, there's one.
Yes, go ahead, Diane.
This is from Aisha.
Yeah.
And she said, Tricia, thank you for being transparent. There's such strength in that. And Paula had concurred and said, yes, we are proud of you, we love you, keep rising.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And everybody's got a story. Believe me, every single mom has got a story. And here at A Single Serving, we are praying for you. Don't think you're alone. We are praying for you. And so I just want to thank you, my cousin Tricia, and all of you who are watching tonight. Thank you for taking the time out to join us on A Single Serving to hear my cousin Tricia. She's saying thank you. She's emotional. She's crying.
I am.
She's a crier. Well, so am I. Every now and again, I can bust eye water when I'm ready. Jackie, keep it quiet. Okay. So my sister cries as well. Watch my sister. Yeah.
Hi.
So I thank you for joining us tonight here at A Single Serving. Our next single serving is next month, June 17th. Rev will be back with me at that time. So we look forward to you joining us on June the 17th. Next month is Father's Day month. So we're honoring dads next month. So join us next month, June 17th, same time, same place, for another broadcast of A Single Serving. God bless you guys again. Anything else, Tricia? You're done? Trisha's done. She's like, I have nothing else to say. But I thank you. I love you guys. Just remember this coming Sunday, if you don't have a church that you are attending, or you're looking for a church that you want to attend online, here at Covenant Remnant Ministries, we are live every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock with worship and the word. And this Sunday, all the way from Clarksville, Tennessee, is my cousin, another Beazer, but she's married, Reverend Tricia Beazer Cummings will be joining us for the word on Sunday. So if you have no plans to go anywhere, or you're not involved in the church, you are more than welcome to join us online. So for myself and my beautiful guest, my cousin Tricia, thanks again for being here on a single serving, and we will see you on June 17th. Bye for now. We love you. Pray for us as we pray for you. Take care. Bye for now.